What?
What's up? Honestly, I've had it since like 2014. I don't even remember. Maybe 2013. It's been a long time. Jay says you're muted. He knows. He's trying to fix it right now. What's up, Savior? You guys ready to talk about some Ikoria spoilers tonight? I gotta finally share my opinions on it, and I got a few hot takes on this set. Not sure if they're
Is that
good or
it?
bad
Oh,
hot takes, but I got a couple.
Okay, I can be heard. Hold on, we're gonna restart. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the 46th episode of the Control Freak Podcast. I am your host, Alex Blackard, or Atlas Alex on Twitch and Twitter. Make sure to go follow me on both of those platforms. I am joined today by the one and only Jake Stehlik. Jake, how's it going?
What's up? Not much. How about you?
Pretty good. We are live on Twitch right now, as we were last episode. And as we were last episode, we are going to be going over the Ikoria set. This is the part 2. This is the first time I've done a 2 episode review because, I mean, it's just a really awkward time to have a podcast go up is on Sunday. That's why the last 2 weeks I've been doing it on Monday because now the entire spoiler is out and we can kind of digest this thing as a whole piece rather than just a bunch of random
Bits and pieces
Godzillas
of
and
it.
mutates. And yeah, basically, there's been a lot of cards spoiled since the last time you heard my voice. And yeah, I'm really excited to get into it. My opinion on the set has changed slightly just because I dig the ultimatum cycle. I think that's really cool. They have really bomby abilities if you haven't seen it. If you are watching on YouTube or on Twitch, the replay on Twitch, I do have all the cards up on Mythic Spoiler, so you'll be able to see and follow along pretty easily. So, but
We're gonna talk about them.
yeah. So we're gonna get into them. Thank you everybody who's watching live on Twitch. Jo, I am the savior. You guys are the homies. But and feel free to chime in if you have any thoughts or comments or questions that you want to get in on this conversation. Feel free to. But shout out to all of my lovely patrons over at patreon.com/LessAlex. If you enjoy my content in any capacity, I know that times are kind of rough right now, so I don't expect anything. But if you do enjoy the content, head over there and feel free to check that out. What's up, Time Walk TV? Recording a podcast, bud. Thanks for hanging out. Oh man. So yeah, we are gonna get into this podcast now. I am winded. So overall thoughts, the entire set is spoiled. What are your initial thoughts of this entire set now that it's been spoiled?
So, as Wizard stated previously, with how they're making this set, I don't want to really walk into too many like preemptive judgments on it because I think the set has a lot of hidden power that we just don't see right now because we're looking at it with a like modern players mindset where we literally see only the first 2 or 3 cards like, all right, this says garbage besides A, B, and C.
Yeah. It's definitely kind of modern and pioneer even like
Yeah.
I agree. I think that initially the mutate thing is still pretty confusing and is going to
I
lead to a lot of bad feelings, especially at like FNMs and stuff. You're going to get that spiky player paired up against like the guy who's just been playing for a couple weeks, and there's going to be some bad miscommunication, or somebody's going to move a card and then what kind of counters did this creature have on it, kind of thing that is going to be happening, which is not going to be great.
I've been like talking to a guy at work who's been like on and off Magic for a while, and I tried to explain to him how mutate works. He's like,
Just like,
"Is
what?
it like?" I'm like, "It's kind of like bestow,
Ish,
but
yeah.
not really."
Yeah.
I think bestow is the easiest way to like describe this mechanic because
Sure.
it's so complex, and this is the problem when you have a set that's built around a online system.
Yeah,
rather
it
than cards.
definitely feels like it was designed for Arena, and that's one of my issues with it, I think, just deep down, like even not even wanting to admit it, but it is because, I don't know about you. Well, I do know about you, but I don't know about everybody else. I fell into love with Magic because of the times I had with friends and sitting down, feeling the cards, snapping the cards down as I play them, shuffling the decks up, and, just having a good time with friends. Now, obviously, it's kind of
hard right now.
It's very hard right now because a lot of people, unless you're essential, are under quarantine. So it's kind of a blessing, maybe in a disguise, that we're getting this set that seems to be designed for Arena. So with that in mind, I think this set's pretty sweet from a casual standpoint. Obviously, these legendary wedge creatures, which I purposefully did not get into in the last episode because I wanted to talk about them in this episode.
Yeah.
And we'll go over all 5 of those and share our thoughts and opinions on those, as well as the ultimatums, which seem rather generic, but also just kind of cool, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And we got the Blue Mythos that was one card I was talking about last episode.
I had talked to like maybe 10 people, like being like the teamer expert, kind of hoping, like my hope was like it was gonna be blue 1, or like blue 2, so it's teamer. And with like a counter, like I wanted to counter and fight. That was my original speculation on it.
Oh my gosh.
It would be like, if you control a creature, you can also have it fight, or
That'd
like
be so
give
good.
it like another bonus. But I kind of wanted to be like, if you remember a card called Trap Essence, I kind of want to be like that. But the problem with Trap Essence was it only countered creature spells, and that was like super limiting of like teamer's already a limited color combination. I'll go when we talk about teamer cards. I'll get into it.
Yeah. The first
that's my problem with the Blue Mythos.
Yeah, all the Mythoses, aside from being terribly worded, are just kind of, I don't know, meh to me, to be honest. The black one's pretty sweet, I guess.
So,
but
before we really talk about like individual cards, I kind of want to talk about. I think Abzan got pushed again. I think a lot of the cards that are specifically designed around Abzan are very, very much more powerful than the rest of the set.
Oh yeah. I think the Abzan Mythos of Nethori, butchering that name, I'm sure, but I think that one's like the strongest one.
Oh, without a doubt. It's just solid removal.
Eerie Ultimatum is very good. Obviously costed insane, but
I think the Abzan Mythos, or the Abzan Apex creature, is almost one of the best because it's just so powerful. Reanimation's never been a fair thing in Magic.
Yeah.
Getting a 6/6 body with a reanimation spell is like, why would you not do that?
So here's the first card I want to talk about. This is Narset of the Ancient Way, and when I saw this card spoiled, first off, I was kind of upset that it wasn't just Izzet colors, because we've seen her as a Jeskai, which is what she is, and then we saw her as a blue-white, and then we saw her as mono blue. So I was expecting her to just be Izzet. but it makes sense that she would be Jeskai in a set that supports Jeskai colors.
Yeah.
But so here's Narset of the Ancient Way, and this is the first card I wanted to tackle and just talk about individually. So she is 1 generic blue, red, white for a legendary Planeswalker Narset Mythic Rare for loyalty. +1, you gain 2 life, add blue, add red, or white. Spin this mana only to cast non-creature spells. And then her -2, draw a card, then you may discard a card. When you discard a non-land card this way, Narset of the Ancient Ways deals damage equal to that card's converted mana cost to target creature or planeswalker. Can't hit players, which is unlucky, and then it's -6. You get an emblem whenever you cast a non-creature spell. This emblem deals 2 damage to any target. My first thoughts on this card is, how is this a white card other than the gain 2? Like the token gain 2 life at the first sentence is like, and it's funny because if you're watching or you've seen the art in the actual pack art, now that she does have an alternate art, which looks killer. I love the Kev Walker absolutely bodied this art from the alternate art. But it's funny because in the original art, it looks like she's trying to kick the white mana symbol off the card. So that's pretty cool. But nothing about this card is white other than that gain 2. And obviously being able to add white to your mana pool. But spinning, we want to cast in Izzet colors, in Jeskai colors. We want to be able to cast non-creature spells, so I think that's really good. Going up to 5 as a 4-mana Planeswalker historically has been pretty good. Drawing a card is always good, and then her -2 here, I mean, being able to nuke a creature or, hit a Planeswalker, like if you discard a Teferi 5 off of this or something, that's pretty good. You pretty much can kill almost anything. Obviously not maybe in Standard, because there's no Teferi 5 in Standard, but in Pioneer, most of the creatures only have like 5 toughness or less. So, what are your initial thoughts on Narset of the Ancient Way?
So, I think this card is innately designed around Standard.
Yeah.
But my problems with it, we're going down the formats that this will see play in. Standard in Jeskai Fires, it doesn't help you
do anything.
It doesn't really do a whole lot because you're not. Once you have Fires out, you don't care about the +1. That doesn't do anything for you.
It does gain life, passively over the game, but yeah,
that's not what Jeskai Fires wants to do. I kind of wish the +1 said you can make a mana and then that mana doesn't empty until your next upkeep.
Ooh, that'd be
which would have been
really sweet,
really cool design space. But at the same time,
how do you keep track of that? But
yeah, it's. I mean, Magic has always had the problem of personally, I believe that you should never be able to play Magic without some cards and dice.
Sure.
And
that's hard. They did the energy reserve tokens. They could have done something like that. But talking about the actual card that we got, my biggest complaint with it is that it's Jeskai. Like, that's so hard to cast.
I think it being Jeskai, the problem is that it being Jeskai doesn't really reward you, and there are better cards on the curve that do other things in every format. Like Pioneer, your 4-drop slot is very. I mean, usually on turn 4, you're playing Supreme Verdict or you're holding up the counter.
Yeah, I mean, Supreme Verdict obviously is like the best card in blue-white control. So putting a non-4-drop that isn't putting a non-Supreme Verdict 4-drop is like kind of weird.
Yeah, and you losing a card doesn't feel good. I get you gotta just hit something for whatever casting cost, but think about you top deck this, you -2 and you draw a land. That's even worse than ticking up with a the 5 Teferi 5.
Yeah. It's definitely not as good as Teferi 5, but I don't know. Looting is good. Her ultimate is very sweet too. I like the fact that it says the emblem deals the damage, and obviously to any target. That's just excellent.
Yeah. It has inevitability. It's a 4-drop Planeswalker. It ults in 2 turns. It's not going to be that bad. It's going to see play. How much play and what numbers? I don't think I ever see this card being more than a 2 of in any deck, but it's sweet. I think that I kind of wish that they would have done a Planeswalker for at least the other two, I wish like the tiger guy or lion guy, I wish he would have been Mardu.
The Tiger King.
Yeah, I wish Tiger King was Mardu, and I kind of wish that like Vivian was maybe Teamer or Sultai. Like I kind of wish that
They would have
if
just
we were gonna
stuck to
have,
that. Yeah.
yeah, I wish if we were gonna have like Wedge Planeswalkers, we were gonna have Wedge Planeswalkers. And I see what you want to talk about next. I'm really excited.
Yeah, so we got tricycle lands. This is the Triomes, really cool. They kind of talked about these lands, not specifically the cards, but they did talk about the overall story behind them before they actually revealed the cards. So all the Triomes, so I don't even know how to pronounce this one, but Ragrin? I don't know.
Ragarin. There's an R in there.
Ragarin Triomes is a land that is an island mountain plains. That's right. It's a triple tri-land. Taps to add blue, red, or white, America, and it enters the battlefield tapped. And then you can cycle it for 3 colorless. And cycling means obviously discard it to draw a card. These are insane. These are really good.
They're very powerful.
These are going to make 5-color Niv in Pioneer just that much better. 5-color Niv in Modern is already like dominating the dailies and all of the kind of bigger tournaments on Moto as well in Modern. So 5-color Niv, probably going to be a sweet place to be. But also, I think these have potential to see play in Legacy. They have, obviously, they're going to see play in Standard and Pioneer. And Modern.
I disagree. Legacy.
I think they could see play in Legacy.
I
don't know.
Legacy,
I don't know a whole lot about Legacy. I'll be honest.
So the problem is that they're number one, they're not duels, and number two, Legacy having you need mana every time they come untapped.
Yeah, that's.
And
fair.
It would feel absolutely horrible to play this tapped, and then your opponent go, "Cool, Wasteland."
Wasteland, yeah. Yeah, that's
and
fair.
You're just like, this just feels bad. Like I could have cycled it, or I could have gotten a duel or something. Like there's so much downside just from the one clause that comes in tapped. In Legacy, I do not see this thing play.
0 chance they see play in Legacy.
Maybe
right.
maybe like some weird random decks that kind of want them. I've played I won't say I'm a Legacy expert, but I've played enough Legacy. Modern, I think these are 1 or 2 ofs in the decks that very, very specifically want them. But the problem is that again, Modern wants the lands to come in come in untapped so bad, and the decks that have these now, like I think the problem is that we don't have a full cycle, and the decks that would really want, like Jund really wants this.
Jund for sure wants this.
Oh, Jund would love to have a Jund colored one of these because
they kind of gave us all the colors that don't really see play in Modern, really.
Exactly. And the only reason I'm ever going to say yes is because of Ren 6. And that's almost entirely the thing. Like, any Teamer deck, maybe Sultai, but any Teamer deck, I think most Jeskai decks, and I think those colors really want lands to come in the battlefield untapped.
Yeah.
The one Sultai, I think Sultai and Abzan in Modern, I think have the highest chances of seeing play.
For
only
sure.
Because in a Abzan or Sultai mid-range deck, you can play the land tapped turn 2 and turn 1 either double Thoughtseize hold up a push, where you generally see those like turn 2 tap lands. But at the same time, are these better than like playing your turn 2 man land? Like, is the Sultai Tricolor land better than Creeping Tar Pit? I think that's a big question, and we don't know that yet.
I do know from the bicycle lands, these are going to be better than you think they are, because everybody was super low on the bicycle lands, and then they just ended up being like insane in Standard.
Before
these are going to be nuts.
Got spoiled, before we even knew it was a wedge-colored set, I thought we were going to get the other cycle of the bicycles. And I'm honestly surprised. I feel like when they first designed the set that we were going to get those. Like, I think that was the intention. But I think they really needed another way to push the set, and I think these lands are a very good way to push the set.
Oh, yeah. These definitely, when I saw them spoiled, I was like, oh, Okay, now you have my attention, Wizards.
Yes.
All of these arts too. Obviously, they're gonna have really sweet alternate art, which I can't pull up for some reason on here. But all of these arts, just the generic
You can
pack
if
ones.
you click on it and then hover over it, they have them on there.
Is that how you do it? Oh, okay, yeah. So these are insane. This is the art that I was talking about before we actually had any cards spoiled. Whenever Wizards of the Coast changed Magic's Twitch art, the channel art, the game art, that really cool photo of Vivian looking into that monster. If you go on Twitch and search up Magic the Gathering, you'll see it. It looks great. Reminds me of an A Day to Remember album called Homesick. Anyways, the art's incredible. But the art on these, just as, ripping them from the packs, look super good too. Like,
They're
oh my
very
God,
good.
look at that. That's going to look so good in foil.
They knocked it out of the park with these arts. I think that this entire set has pretty good art.
Oh, yeah, the art's very good. Definitely can't knock them on the art side.
To go down a little bit underneath the lands,
Dismal Backwater does look really good.
Ecstatic to have these back in a draft set. This
Gain of Life lands, yeah.
Not only that, but Evolving Wilds back too. Like, this is almost not 100% what the lands we had in cons, but not only do we have an entire set of common lands at the common dual-colored lands,
Even
but we
these
also
base sets
have
look
like
beautiful.
mana rocks. And
Oh, yeah,
the mana rocks is extraordinarily good. Like, I think the draft set. I think this is going to be a very good draft set.
Oh, yeah.
I
mean,
think
look
we're
at this
having a good time
plains,
drafting.
dude. This plains is beautiful. It's so good.
Oh,
anyway,
they did a great job. I think the forest and the plains and that island are going to be great.
I love the fact that we have, and I know we're spending a lot of time talking about the art of these lands, but I love these like little geodes popping, like poking out of the ground. Like, that looks so good. And
I hope in foil those are the things that pop, because sometimes in like foils you see the cards like, oh, that should have popped. That would look so cool. This is foil. Like, there's a couple foils I have where I'm like
the eyes on that cat card that gave a card flying. It's a blue card. The eyes popped out. I just remember that. But yeah, no, I know what you're saying. So for those foil fans out there,
let's go back to the top and talk about Mythics down.
Yeah. So
I think that'd be the easiest way to talk about the Mythic. So
which one do you want to talk about first? I'm open to talking about any of them.
So I think let's talk about the Abzan one. I think the Abzan one is by far probably the strongest one.
Yeah.
Even by itself, a 5-mana 5/5 Death Touch Lifelink is still very good.
Oh yeah.
And
go ahead and, if you want, read it off.
So it's
name, CMC.
Nethritali, Apex of Death. It is 2 white, black, green for legendary creature. Nightmare Beast. So we're going like they told us that was some crazy names.
Sure. Yeah.
Creature types, and then they promised. It has Death Touch Lifelink. When this creature mutates, return any number of target creature cards with total power 10 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield.
What?
It's a 5/5 for mutate for 4 hybrid green white black. That was a mouthful.
Yeah, no,
there's a lot of text on these cards.
Yeah, these cards do a lot. Holy smokes! Yeah, this card's insane. Whenever this creature mutates, return any number of creatures. Like, sweet Wrath, bro. No wonder they gave us a 4-mana Wrath. Like, sweet Wrath, idiot. I'm just getting all my dudes back.
That exiles. The Wrath exiles. The new one. Oh, I'm talking about
No. I'm talking about the one.
Shadow of the Sky.
Shadow of the Sky.
Yeah. No, this card's very powerful.
Yeah.
Going down the list after this, I think probably Sultai, and then I think the Teamer one. I want to talk about the Teamer one.
Of course you do.
And talk about.
All right, go for it.
Illuna. I think it's Illuna.
Yeah, I think
Apex
it's
of Wishes. Legendary creature, beast, elemental, dinosaur. Flying. It's got Flample. When this creature mutates, exile cards from the top of your library until you hit a non-land permanent card. Put that card onto the battlefield or into your hand, and it's mutate for 3 hybrid red, green, blue.
That's so sick.
So I think this is extraordinarily powerful. Extraordinarily powerful. It's a 6-drop that says Cascade into your hopefully next best thing. It's 6-drop with Cascade. It's got standard that literally has Cascade. We don't even have to cast. It doesn't even say cast. No, you put it on the battlefield. You can't counter it. You can't even interact with it. It just puts it onto the battlefield.
Yeah.
Which is incredibly powerful. It's also got Flample might be in contention for like the best keywords.
Flample, I love it.
Also, another thing I want to talk about with the set is like, not this set has so much in it. So not only does it have like tribal synergies, not only does it have like synergies between
Well,
like,
that's because every creature is every creature type.
well, there's keyword synergies.
Yeah.
There's like a whole menace set. Like every color has a subcategory underneath it. Also, the alternate art for
The
this
alt art is
is
so good.
sick. And I guess we don't. And then this is Moga. I don't know my like Godzilla facts, but like the the dragon thing of this is really good looking. Oh, this is right underneath the thing.
Oh, sure.
It's Ghidorah. I'm sorry, I don't know like Ghidorah. It's like it's a really good. I think that might like be one of the best ones. It's like gold, and I bet that's gonna pop so
Oh, yeah.
much. I Go ahead.
No. Keep going. You're on a roll.
Besides that, I think the Jeskai one is kind of lackluster.
God, the art on all of them are so sick, though.
They're really good. I think the Jeskai and the Mardu one are the least goods.
Feel like humans got pushed hard.
We're gonna talk about humans.
Vardok, the apex of thunder. So this is just Jeskai. So it's blue, red, white. Legendary creature, elemental, dinosaur cat. You can mutate it for one, a white, blue, and a white, blue. What is that? Hybrid. One white, blue hybrid, red. It has flying and first strike, which is just nutty. Whenever this creature mutates, you may cast target non-creature card with CMC 3 or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. So kind of like. Not quite Snapcaster-esque, but kind of Snapcaster-esque.
So, what I see this card doing
and the art's so sick.
So what I see this card doing is, in standard specifically, is I see you playing a creature, play a creature like Deafening Clarion, and then mutate onto that creature with Vadrok, recast Deafening Clarion, have like 2 wipes.
Yeah.
I think it's very good. The problem for Modern is that they're just strictly better cards,
right?
And it dies to bolt.
Mm-hmm.
Like Flying First Strike is another, like all the keywords they have for these. Well, except for the Mardu one, which somehow only has a single keyword. The Mardu and Soul Side one. I wish they would have given every one of them double. Like, if you're gonna do a Psycho Wizards, make it all the same.
Right.
I absolutely hate that when they leave like
one of them off.
Like the cat could have
shortchange one of them.
Double Strike Menace. That'd been awesome. That'd been super powerful. On a creature that's a 3/5, like Double Strike Menace, that'd been sweet.
Yeah.
Like the Soul Side one could have had like not Death Touch, but like Trample. Like...
The art on Snapdax Apex of the Hunt. Oh, first off, the name Snapdax Apex of the Hunt might be my favorite name of any legendary creature in Magic. That just sounds so sick.
It's so mean.
Obviously, I don't play Mardu literally ever, but Snapdax Apex of the Hunt is 1 red, white, black for legendary creature cat dinosaur nightmare. Its mutate cost is 2 black, red, hybrid, and white, white. It has double strike, and whenever this creature mutates, it deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker and opponent controls, and you gain 4 life. So that is War Leader's Helix. Right there stapled onto Snapdax Apex of the Hunt. And I'm going to keep saying that name because it is so cool. And the art, when I saw this art, I was like, yes, give me. I wanted this to be the actual art. I wish that they would kind of break away from like the realistic, and I love Magic art, don't get me wrong. Realistic high fantasy art is beautiful. They kill it. They have the best art of any trading card game on the planet. There's no second thoughts about it.
Like,
but
the Pokemon claymations are cool, Magic the Gathering is art. Like, the art in the cards is all, like, they do a beautiful job with every card.
Andrew Hunter is the name of this artist, and it really does look like a Kaijudo art, and it's sick.
Oh, yeah. What is this? It's called comic book art? Is that the other name for not the... Is that what they called the other ones? Like, the
I don't know.
The non-Godzilla one.
Oh, man. So then the last of the 5 Apexes, we have Brokos, Apex of Forever. So this is 2 black, green, blue. Legendary Nightmare Beast Elemental. Mutate is 2 blue-black hybrid and then green-green for trample. And you get to cast it from your graveyard using its mutate ability. So
it's so
fine.
I mean, it's good. It's a I mean, it is flavorful what the card does, but at the same time, it's like I kind of want a little bit more out of this. I don't know. I mean, I understand. Like, I'm not asking for another good green card in standard because I know Sultai's already going to be good.
Beefcake.
Like, with Nissa who shakes the world. Like, I hate that card, and of course, is going to run like the whole slew of like, what do you call it? I don't want to see this thing mutated onto a Crassus.
Or
to a land. Like I think this card will be just as annoying as I think it's gonna be, but I kind of want a little bit more onto it.
Yeah. I mean, it's sweet. It definitely recursive as hell, but I don't know. I think the ones that have 2 abilities, everybody's looking at them being better, but we could get surprised, and maybe Brokos...
It's so much about the cards that are around
conceptual, yeah.
With ultimatum time?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about these ultimatums. So we have Mardu Ultimatum. All these ultimatums are 2 of one color, 3 of another, and then 2 of another. So
one thing that's kind of cool about this is that every one of these, like, every single one of the wedges is one color focused more. Yeah. And it's cool to see like that in like the legendary creatures, that the hybrid is the 2 off colors and the 2 double is the main. Yeah. And it's the same with all the ultimatums. So it's the triple of the main, double of the non.
Definitely. And I do like, I was kind of complaining earlier that they're kind of generic. But had they done like, so for this one, if they would have done like deal 5, gain 5, exile 5 or something like that, like that would have been garbage. It would have been,
or not to, or yeah,
like had it like disregarding the power level of any of them, it would have just been like cookie cutter, right? It just like, oh, you took the abilities of every color and just stapled them on. So I like the fact that we kind of got a broad sense of what the clan or whatever you call them on Ikoria really is trying to do.
With you. I like when I see the ultimatums, I kind of want an ultimatum that does one of each color specific thing. Like the Teamer one does, the Jeskai one does, the Sultai one does. I like it when every color is represented on an ability of a card. And Ruinous Ultimatum and the Abzan one, besides the Abzan one just being I win in Commander, is like I like it when every color is represented. And like the Mardu one feels like a cop-out, even though unlike Commander,
you win the game.
Very good. It's almost better Cyclonic Rift.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I could definitely see that argument. I don't play too much Commander, but it definitely seems like, you're sitting at a table of 3 other people and you destroy all their permanents. It's probably close to game over.
Oh, yeah. It's an ultimatum. It does what it says.
So Ruinous Ultimatum, I don't even think we said it yet. It's red, white, black for a sorcery rare. Destroy all non-land permanents your opponents control. So literally a 1-mana or a 1-sided Plague Wind. I mean, they've started printing this card in forms more and more recently, but I don't know. The art's sweet. I'm pretty hyped about that one, actually.
It's a cool thing. The Teamer one.
Teamer time.
Genesis Ultimatum is double green, triple blue, double red.
Sorcery
double
rare.
Green, triple blue, double red. Sorcery rare. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Put any number of permanents from among them onto the battlefield. The rest into your hand. Exile it. Exile Genesis Ultimatum. I mean, it's green and like green blue cards usually have this kind of ability where you look at the top, like what was it? The one from Khans did notably the same thing. I don't remember the name of that card. I
know which card you're talking about, it
had Ferocious and put 2 creatures. I think this card. I think Genesis Ultimatum is very powerful. It's not. I don't think it's the most powerful, but I think it also has the highest chance of seeing like any play in standard because green like Teamer decks already are like.
This is kind of like unexpectedly absent, or not unexpected results. That's it, right? This card kind of reminds me of that, except it's obviously bigger because you get more could potentially get more cards from it.
Yeah.
I think it's sweet. I don't know. Not much about that card. Kind of to contradict what I said earlier. It doesn't really feel too red, but it is what it is. Eerie Ultimatum. So this is the Abzan one. This is white, triple black, green, sorcery rare. Return any number of permanent cards with different names from your graveyard to the battlefield. Holy smokes. This card is hot. This card is super good.
It's I win a Commander. When you're like 3/4 of the way in a Commander and be like,
oh yeah,
I got like 60 cards in my graveyard.
Yeah.
Back.
Yeah, you guys have been playing for like an hour and a half, and you're just like, Eerie Ultimatum. And everybody's like, all right, we'll pack our stuff up. Good game.
Oh, yeah.
No, this card's sweet. It reminds me of Command the Dreadhorde, which is like right down here on the Mythic spoiler page of cards that it has in common. But you don't lose life, so that's sweet. And yeah, I mean, this card is just really cool. I like the design space of these ultimatums. And here's Inspired Ultimatum, which feels very, very Cruel Ultimatum-esque, but I don't think it's nearly that good. I don't think it's that good. But for blue, triple red, white, it's a sorcery rare. Target player gains 5 life. I think I'll target myself. Is it it's Inspired. Okay, that's weird that they always kind of have a couple of things that are misspelled or the wrong name. Anyways, it deals 5 damage to any target. I'll target you, and then you draw 5 cards. So, I mean, that card's sweet, but it's kind of seems a little cookie cutter to me.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, and the art's really cool. I really like the, I don't know who that, Tyler Jacobson? Oh, okay, yeah, he's been around a little bit.
And then Emergent Ultimatum. This will type one is black, triple green, blue. Sorcery rare. Search your library for up to 3 monocolored cards with different names and exile them. An opponent chooses one of those cards. Shuffle that card in your library. You may cast the other cards without paying their mana cost. Exile Urgent Ultimatum. I think this card has the highest chance of seeing actual constructed play, like Saviors are talking about. It has a lot of play where like you could go grab. It's kind of like gifts where you're like, here's the 3 cards I want. And then your opponent goes, well, I'll choose that one. And they're like, okay, well, these 2 synergize. Or like, if you're playing this card, you're going to build a deck around like 3 cards that you can always go grab. And no matter what, 2 of the 3 are going to do something together.
Yeah. It's very, I mean, I play Gift Storm occasionally in Modern. So I dig me a good gifts pile. So this card is pretty cool in my book.
My problem is monocolored and a multicolored.
Yeah, that's what exactly I was just about to say. We'll see how many monocolored cards, especially right now. Like if you think about a Sultai deck in Standard, you think about what the Planeswalkers,
the world.
Yeah,
Nissa,
Vivian maybe. Like,
besides that, like Hydrograss is double colored. Blood Shark Beast. I mean, you don't want to get that. The Mythoses. I know we already talked about them at the beginning.
Yeah.
Seb McKinnon knocked it out.
Seb McKinnon did all the art, and I mean, as you can see if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, Seb McKinnon's quickly building a resume that is going to challenge for best.
If there was an artist that I said, hey, make me a cave painting, and make me a cave painting of like and that's like the thing that's really hard to do about like these cave paintings. You can't really like. You don't want to paint the actual creature, really. You want to paint the concept of it.
Right.
And, like, it doing something. And Seb does a really good way of, like, translating what each one of these, like, creatures is and does. And I think that he did a great job.
He's really good at telling the story of the card and not just hey, here's a dude battling, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of dudes battling... Kinnan Bonder Prodigy. This card is really sweet. Not a huge blue-green fan, not a huge Simic fan, but this is a legendary creature, human druid, mythic rare for 1 single green and 1 single blue. You get a 2/2. Whenever you tap non-land permanent for mana, add 1 mana of any type that permanent produced. So this combos with, oh my goodness, what's the name? Basalt Monolith in Commander. So
Oh,
You
100%.
go crazy with it, and then so it has an activated ability as well, 5 and green blue. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a non-human creature card, finally a card that doesn't interact with humans because this set has a lot of good humans. A non-human creature card among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. That's a lot of
There's
a lot of mana.
Of text. There's a lot of
but
text on this card.
if you're going to play mana rocks and stuff like that to get this ability to go off, I mean, 7 mana doesn't seem like a whole lot, to be honest.
So I don't think this card will ever see non-commander play.
It's
maybe
sweet.
some in standard.
Yeah.
But any card in commander with inevitability is just good.
Oh yeah.
Like this, I don't know if you build this. I don't know if this is your commander, but I think this is definitely the 99 if you're playing any blue-green deck.
Thrasios, this card's gonna be sweet.
My problem in like standard is just it gets stomped by Bonecrusher Giant, and that feels like
yeah.
You don't want to be playing this in standard.
This is a constructed card, Rigmo says.
I
think it'd be sweet. You just got to build around it.
Yeah, build around it, and I know you can't make the it dies to removal argument, but at the same time, a 2/2 is very easy to get rid of.
Sure.
I think the card you have on the screen is extraordinarily good.
Winota Rider. Winota, Joiner of Forces, 2 red-white, legendary creature, human warrior. Whenever a non-human creature you control attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. Why are we looking at the top card of our library with almost every card in this set, it seems? You may put a human creature card from among them onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. It gains indestructible until the end of turn. Put the rest of the cards at the bottom of your library in a random order. Whew. You love Boros cards.
I do.
What are your thoughts about this one?
So, you have to build your deck in probably the most most colluded, weird way possible, because you want to have a number of non-creatures and creatures, like or humans and non-humans. And I think the problem with this card is you're going to run into man, I need to hit a human, but I think the highest chance this card is he plays in standard. And I've already thought of build because I played a red-white deck for a while. Playing. Oh, I played Pat the Metal for 2 years, and I saw a red-white card. I'm like, well, how can this already exist? It's the Mardu shell that we already have for an aggro deck, and I the best I can see you doing is going Winota, swing with Dreadhorde Butcher or Aurelia, and then the problem is what human is good enough to get. I don't think General Kuro is really good enough for that type of deck, because he wants to deck all of humans, but at the same time it's I'm gonna grab a Tajik. Tajik's not that great by himself. You don't want to pay off of Tajik. I can see you grabbing Helios off of it, the red white Achilles heel guy.
Yeah.
I think that would be sweet to grab off this card. And you're just I have a 6/1 with indestructible, and now it has protection from 3.
Yeah.
I think it's a build around card. I don't think it's really ever going to see play, but I think it's sweet.
And so speaking about a card that you just minted, this is General Kudrod of Danareth. 1 white-black legendary creature, human soldier. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a human lord. Other humans you control get +1/+1. I never thought they'd do that. I didn't think they'd do it. I guess because humans has been at certain points in Modern just the best deck, not close. Obviously, right now it's not the greatest, but it has won a couple of primers and stuff within the last. I think it won a primer within the last couple of weeks. But whenever he enters or another human enters the battlefield under your control, exile target card from opponent's graveyard. That's pretty good. I mean, against blue-white control, that could really screw up your game plan. And then you can tap 2, sacrifice 2 other humans, destroy target creature power 4 or greater. So, not really a nice guy here. If you're thinking about lore, he's just throwing his men out there hey, some of you may die.
But that's a risk I'm willing to take.
Yeah.
So I've played a little. I would say I'm a humans expert, but there was a time period where I played humans for 3 or 4 months. anytime you can present the deck humans with a card that says, here's the effect of non-creature cards on a human, humans immediately is going to take a look and say, all right, can we play this card?
Yeah.
And the answer is without a doubt yes. What you cut for it, I feel like you cut some deputy attentions in the main, or maybe like a reflector mage or two, maybe a phantasmal image because this is a bad phantasmal image target.
This might even,
and it doesn't trigger off phantasmal, or yes it does, but
this might even make a Hero of Precinct 1 deck in Pioneer be a thing, because it's insane with Hero of Precinct 1.
Oh, I mean, you just keep churning, and there are 3 solid lines of text that decks look for already that other cards, like, you have to make build arounds. Like, you have to put cards in your deck that this card says, all right, now that I have Graveyard, I really don't have to worry about playing too much Rest in Peace. Well, he buffs my humans, so any damage-based board wipes are now negated, and it solves the problem of most of these creature-based decks, like Pioneer decks, not having straight access to Path to Exile, and having a Smite the Monstrous at a cost of, like, man, if you have to swing in for lethal to kill a creature, like, and you're playing a creature-based deck, I think you're probably okay with sacrificing 2 humans. And, like, in Humans and Modern, like, you top deck a Champion of the Parish late, like, turn 3 or 4, and it's like, I don't really want this. Sweet. Here's a Smite the Monstrous on your creature. On your Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, I mean, I think all 3 of his abilities are very, like, they're all, obviously, +1/+1 is excellent. Like, it could probably just say that, and then this card would still be fine. But the fact that it has utility against graveyard-based decks, and it has utility against decks that typically White Weenie decks struggle against, which are, I'm just going to put this
Big
fat
creatures.
green creature in front of you, and you're not going to be able to beat me down on the ground. So the fact that it has flexibility there, too, I think this card's definitely poised to make a splash. In what format, I'm not... I don't know.
I think Pioneer and Modern for sure. Standard. The problem with Standard is I think it's like aggro decks that, like, mid-range aggro decks have a big issue right now with Standard. I don't quite see him making a way into Standard because there's not enough, like, card advantage. Like, in Modern, being able to kill, like, a Tarmogoyf, that's a big move. But, like, in Standard, you kill, like, a Hydrocrisis, they're just going to buy it back with the Green Cavalier, and it doesn't really matter. So I don't think he's great in Standard, but Pioneer and Modern, I think he's especially good. Do you want to skip all the other come back to some multi-color cards?
In the last episode, we talked about them.
Okay.
This one is one, obviously, it's blue-white, and it's very interesting. It's a Yorion Sky Nomad. Hopefully I didn't butcher that too bad. But it is 3 blue-white hybrid, so 5 mana total, for legendary creature Bird Serpent, which... These creature types just kill me. It has Companion. Your starting deck contains at least 20 cards more than the minimum deck size. So obviously in Standard, you're playing an 80-card deck. Or in Commander, I guess you'd be playing, what?
You can't.
100? You can't?
You can't. The 99 is the limit. I don't think you can go over 99.
Okay. I didn't know if they, because usually the card changes, stuff like that. But... so it has flying. It's a 4/5. It has flying. Whenever it enters the battlefield, exile any number of other non-land permanents you own and control. Return those cards back to the battlefield at the beginning of your next in-step. A lot of people have been telling me this card's really good.
If there's anything in the set I am the least, like, hyped on, I think it's Companion. I think Companion is a toxic... I think it's a toxic...
J.O. says ability. It's awful. So awful.
Like, the problem you have with Companion as an ability is the fact that Magic is not a game where you can just make deck building restrictions upon yourself and say, I'm going to play this way. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even talking about the Companion ability. Like, I get it. I understand why you would want to exile stuff, enter the battlefield abilities, refreshing your Planeswalkers, saving your Planeswalkers if they're at 1 or something, saving them from an attack potentially. But I just don't see it for this card. I'm assuming the people that reached out to me and told me that this card's good were probably just trolling, which is fine. But I just don't see it for this card. It's sweet. It's a big flyer, but it doesn't really have, other than flying, it doesn't have, this is not like a game, Dream Troll. I'm playing Dream Trawler 100 times out of 100 times over this card for a control deck.
I think there are better cards that do better things than this creature. And I think
you see what Jo said? Jo said, Companion is the worst mechanic printed since Mutate.
I don't think Mutate's that bad, but I really don't like Companion. I think Companion should have been scrapped.
I
think the Companion ability, there's a part of me that thinks this entire set should not even have been like a standard legal set. I think this entire set should have been like a Battle Bond or a.
It's such a weird standard set, isn't it?
The thing is like they want these things like Companion. They want these things like deck build. They want deck building. They want constrictions. They want mutate. If you want to build a set like that, that's great. That's why we have Battle Bond. That's why we have Conspiracy. That's why we have these like other sets that are not. That we have these like specialty sets for a reason.
Yeah.
And some of these like. I think most of these cards would have been fine not existing in Standard, and I just don't. I don't see it. I think there's a lot of negative about the set. I don't for Constructed. I'm a firm believer, and I know people disagree with me, but I think you probably agree with me. Commander and casual formats should never interfere with constructed competitive Magic.
Yeah, I mean, I think generally speaking, I agree with that. I get it. You need to. Wizards needs to make their money, and they can easily make. This could have been a Battle Bond set, and dude, I'd have been all for it. I was super hyped on Battle Bond just because of what it was. Like, it's a way to have a fun set to make Wizards a crap load of money, and it did. Oh boy, I worked at an LGS. I know how much people bought Battle Bond. Commander players freaking love Battle Bond. Whenever Battle Bond 2 comes out, that set's going to sell out. It'll probably be the highest selling set ever. Like, I'm not joking.
Because they designed a set around a thing, which was Two-Headed Giant. And it's great to play with your friends, because no set, since it was really designed around Two-Headed Giant.
Yeah.
If you want to put ability like Companion in a standard legal set, then let's build the entire draft around Companion. So we have like 30 Companions. There's a ranking level of how mythic to casual. Every pack has one. Or you're like when you're given a pre-release kit, you are guaranteed a foil Companion. And you build your deck around. That'd be awesome. That'd been so sweet. I like, because they wanted these Companion creatures. They wanted to make you feel like, if they want to bring the flavor and the theme and into this set like they wanted to, this should have been a Commander set and a Commander specialty set.
Yeah.
They should have then push it on, said, hey, this is this cool thing. We're gonna have another good we're going to have a different standard set.
I was super hyped on this set, and I said this in the last episode too. I was super hyped on this set before I started seeing cards for it. The art, the big monsters like Battle Cruiser Magics, fine. I assumed we'd get better removal. I don't know why I thought. I mean, I assumed because we were having these what I assumed was we're going to get these really splashy, gigantic 10/10s and 8/8s with trample and stuff, and then we'd have a card like Path to Exile. And I know we got some cards that were kind of like Path to Exile, but personally they just don't cut it for me.
So my problem with fatty magic is the pure fact that everyone says well, you can't make the dice removal argument. Yeah, but how many times do you play a big thing and just gets killed? Even in Standard, we have Murder Strider, and that's the best Heroes Downfall we've ever had. And that, I don't think Murder Strider is going to go anywhere. I don't think Brazen Borrower is going anywhere. I don't think any of these key removal spells are going anywhere. You're just going to play looking at Garuda Doom's Death, be look at my 6/6 demon.
Yeah,
Kraken.
bounce it back to your hand.
Bounce it.
What's up, Jack? How's it going?
Smack you for 3.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. I'll play it again. Bounce it. Oh wait, no, we're playing.
You invested how much mana to mutate this? What?
We're playing Teamer Adventures. So we're just gonna draw 2 cards off that because we're playing a 3 Edgewall Innkeeper. We have 5 Edgewall Innkeepers out. I don't know how you have 5, but
right,
drawing 5 cards.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I have on the screen, and I've had it on for a while for those
I
watching.
went on a rant. I'm sorry.
No. It is great. I love rants. I love when my guests go on rants. It's great content. Farfinder. This is a really cool card. This is one of my favorite cards in the set. It's a goofy little common, but I like it. It's 3 mana for a creature fox common. It has vigilance, and whenever it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. I don't know. The art's really cute. I just dig it. I don't know.
I like it. I like it.
The lady on there is like best friends with this little dog dude, little fox boy.
I like how it's mana fixing, and then I like how the card is. It's a 1/1 vigilance. You're like, why would you print that? Well, that's because you can mutate onto it.
Yeah.
And like, I think every card in the set was very, very specifically and meticulously designed around mutate.
Mm-hmm.
Another cards. I don't know if we talked about the Ozolith. I think
that's
card,
the one I actually did want to talk about.
Yeah, that card. I think the Ozolith is a legendary artifact rare, for 1 mana, so just 1. And then it has, when a creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put those counters on the Ozolith. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, if the Ozolith has counters on it, you may move all counters from the Ozolith onto target.
That's crazy.
Well, we're getting the argument of like, this card's gonna get really confusing.
Yeah, because you have all these like trample, you have menace, you have +1, you have
what happens to the weird thing when like, all right, it has on the Ozolith, it has a +1/+1 counter, it has a -1/-2 -1/-1 counters, a trample counter, a hexproof counter, flying vigilance first strike counters,
a poison counter, like.
Oh yeah, you got a creature that got hit by an infect, like an elf, and then it's like, it's got I guess on creatures infect counters are just -1/-1 counters.
Yeah,
but
so like, Jo brings up a good point too. This would be pretty good in hardened scales too.
But the problem, in hardened scales, the problem with hardened scales is you're already playing a 1-drop thing that you want to win the game. I don't know if that deck really wants another.
That's fair.
Like, the deck hardened scales is only reason it exists is because of hardened scales. The Ozolith, I get it, like it gives you a place to store those counters if they were if they were to be removed. But the other problem is like, you have to move those counters. It's not a May. It's at the beginning of combat. Oh, it is May. Never mind. So I guess you can store it, but the problem is like, what if they just K command it? That just sucks.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's 1 mana. It's fine.
Another card I want to talk about really quick.
Yeah, go for it.
It's a green rare. It's at the top. Gem Razor. It's like near the top. It's a green. It's Gem Razor is 3 and a green for creature beast rare. Mutate 1 green. Reach trample. When this creature mutates, so short target artifact or enchantment. I think this card's really good.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I think there's a lot of upside. I think the alternate art on it, if you want to hover over it, is pretty sweet.
Oof. Yeah, that's hot. That's super dope.
I think this card of the mutate cards that could see play in modern, I think this has a high chance. I mean, making your Goyf be a reach trampling 6/7
that killed a relevant artifact or enchantment.
It makes it bigger than Urza.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And can trample over Thopter tokens. Another 2 cards, if you just want to go back, they're right on top of each other. We don't need to really talk about them too much.
Yeah, go for it.
Draneth Magistrage is a white 1 creature.
Oh yeah, we talked about that one last episode.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited for that for possible Death and Taxes card.
Oh yeah, humans definitely got a lot of help from this set for sure.
And then the card underneath it, Lava Brink Venturer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I talked about this. I think this could see some play. I like it.
I like it a lot.
The art's really sick.
I don't think humans wants it, but I think white weenies, I think in Pioneer especially, I think this card's could possibly see a lot of play. Protection has always been good.
The fact that it can blank their Goyf or whatever, I think that's really good.
And it has value when you flicker it. I think us could see some like Death and Taxes play. Like I think Blade Spicer is still better. The new Turtle's pretty sweet.
Gosh, look at this. Cub Warden's alt art is so sick too.
There's so much. I think the comic book art. I think the comic book art is better than the like the Godzilla art. I think Godzilla art should have been like a from the vault, or not the secret layer. I think we should have just had the comic book because they're just so good.
Yeah, they're sick. Every single one's like just really good.
Oh.
Yeah. Is there any other card you wanted to talk about before we call it a podcast and call it a set review?
The mythics. I dislike how green has 2 green-black mythics. I don't like that. It's got that
Chevelle and
Chevel, and then Fiend Artisan.
Yeah.
I don't like how green has 2 mythics. The Labyrinth, you go down a little bit on your screen, the red-black Labyrinth Raptor. I really like how every one of the colors also has a build around keyword. And I would like to see some future sets where we have not just like synergies with like creature types, but like keyword synergies. Because that's, I mean, hey, there happened to be a red-white enchantment I played for 2 years that had a first strike, double strike, vigilance, or haste synergy.
Yeah, maybe one day it'll be playable. Obviously, in draft, we've got the crystals. Those are going to be really good for drafting. I could even see like maybe the Jeskai one seeing play in like a standard control deck, maybe.
It has cycling. It only has upside. Like, it's better than the cons ones because it's not only is it cheaper.
Yeah.
The cycle, but like with the cons ones, it was a whole like 6 mana invested to draw a card. So I think these are kind of strictly better.
Yeah.
Which one?
2 mana rocks were the goat. Yeah.
I don't think we're ever going to go back to that.
Yeah.
What is it? Titan's Nest.
What color is that? Green, I'm assuming. Sounds green.
Is that the land? No, it's the land.
Oh, yeah.
Bonder's Enclave. Never mind, I'm wrong. That card, Bonder's Enclave, is very good too. I think.
Oh yeah, this is actually a card I wanted to talk about a little bit. So Bonder's Enclave is a land. It's a rare. You can add colorless, or you can tap 3 to draw a card. Activate this ability only if you control creature power 4 or greater. I could definitely see this card seeing play in standard.
Man, I wonder what modern deck happens to play 4 power creatures that only wants colorless lands. I don't like seeing this card. Like, the Province X for colorless man, draw a card if I have a thought, not see a Reality Smasher out.
I would have loved to see a comic book art of this one too. Unfortunately,
that'd be awesome. The Tri-Enchantments.
Oh, the Tri-Enchantments. That's right.
I don't.
They're right here. Yeah, here they are.
Oh.
Song of Creation, Whirlwind of Thought, Titan's Nest. Yeah. So Titan's Nest is 1 black, green, blue enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard. Exile a card from your graveyard. Add a Wingding. Spin this mana only to cast colored spells without X in their mana cost.
Man, I kind of just want this card to be a combo card. Like, I think they tried in their best to say, we're not going to make this a combo card. I promise, we did not make this a combo card. But at the same time, it also says, spend this mana only to cast.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of wish they would just let us have a combo card.
Yeah, and you can't fireball your opponent.
It's a 4 mana enchantment. If you find a way to kill it, you find a way to kill it, and you kind of lose the game because of it. But, like, at the same time, I know, like, sometimes, like, how do you notice that this is going to be a problem, but how did you not notice Oko would be a problem? And you know they haven't had time to react to it.
Yeah, that's true.
That was already being printed by the time we had Throne.
Oh, yeah. Whirlwind of Thought, it's the Jeskai enchantment. It's 1 for a Jeskai colors, so 4 mana total. Enchantment, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, draw a card. A lot of people were talking shit on this card. A lot. And when it was first spoiled, but I think it's, like, fine. People were saying that the Song of Creation is, like, the best one. Song Creation.
I definitely think the Teamer one's the best one.
Is the Teamer one, so it's 1 Teamer colors, so 4 mana total. Enchantment. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. Whenever you cast a spell, draw 2 cards. What? Card's pretty good.
It's very powerful.
And the art's gorgeous. Noah Bradley.
I want to see this in foil.
Oh yeah.
I would love to see this card in foil. Besides that, I'm just like glancing. I really don't see a whole lot. I like did you talk about the only companion that I'm actually ever interested in? The Kira the Ophengard. That's the multi-creature companion guy.
Which one? Kira?
The green white one.
Oh, here. I think we did talk about this one, but you can go ahead
Um, I I've been forcing my girlfriend to play Magic.
and.
Lovingly forcing her to play Magic. She's been playing Cats, and I am very excited to have this as like a 2 in the main, 1 in the companion slot in the sideboard, because it says each creature card, so you can still run this in a deck that has company. And it gives Cats in Pioneer, which is a like fringe 2.5. I think this might push this to like a 1.8, like to your deck. I think it has a chance. It gives Cats 2 lords where you also like you have Regal Caracal, which is an insane magic card, and then this card, and that gives your Cats 2 lords. It gives them 2 keywords. I think this has the highest chance of being in a deck. Also, it gives elementals, so Tamer Elementals in Standard with Omnath. I think this card could have a chance in play. Not in the main, but I think definitely as a like I have this as an option in the sideboard to possibly cast. Besides that, Fiend Artisan's gonna probably, they say it's the new Tarmogoyf. It's not gonna be the Tarmogoyf. I never believe that. The thing is, Goyf is this card says you get +1 for each creature. I mean, you probably have to work for it. Goyf just freely gets bigger. Like there's 0.
Yeah, it just is.
Thanks, Jack. Jack Sanchin. I'm excited to have her play some more kitties because she gets very excited when she gets to see those cats.
Nice.
Besides that, I really don't. I haven't really looked enough at the commons to make a. But cast spell paper spell unless I'm wrong. This is, I believe, it can bend the rules some cases. The problem is that I don't think so, because it specifically states on the card. Yeah, I don't.
You can't overpay for a spell. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think so.
But yeah, I mean, that's all I've got for this set. I mean, I'm not too excited for this set.
I would like to see a where are we now in 2 months sort of like thing.
Yeah,
it might be a little longer because Paper Magic, we're only getting like online results until like the COVID stuff is over. So we're probably not. Yeah. It probably be like maybe 4 months. Where are we out? Like where are we now with this set? Mm-hmm. I hate to say, I kind of feel like this is going to be like the Battle for Zendikar set, where the lands and like 4 good cards are the only thing that actually ever see play.
Oof, yeah. I mean, I can see that.
It's
like the lands obviously are the cash grab here. Like the reason that you
lands
buy
and
this.
A few mythics, the rares. I mean, again, this set will have. I think the lands will initially have value, and like for a while they will, because they're just not gonna be scarce. There won't be any because card shops aren't opening product right now.
It's true.
I think for a while they'll be expensive, but honestly, Brazen Borrower might be the most played card in Standard right now, and it's $18, and it's been $18 even with like the helping. Like I know Standards ago where a card like Brazen Borrower, like getting an allies in a card was $40. It was like 6 Jace.
Granted, it was in every single white deck, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
But like blue's the most like popular secondary color in Standard right now. I think this is going to be another Battle for Zendikar set where
that is
a lot. Like we're going to have like 1 big card, everyone, the chase card, the lands, and then like 4 to 5 secondary cards that are going to be like in this like a smaller price range, and that's excluding the what do you call it, the collector boosters. Like that's a whole other thing among itself. I don't know how you're gonna add
Well,
it.
yeah,
In the
collector's
comic.
boosters are just going to inherently drive the price down of everything in
Well,
this
I
set.
don't know what is like what do you get a Godzilla art every pack?
Oh,
Do you
I
get
have
a
no
comic?
idea about that one.
I haven't looked at the numbers of it yet. I usually wait till Rudy opens those to watch him do it and watch this man dumbly find his way and to figure out how like the cards are organized in the pack, even though specifically Wizards has a thing on their website that says this is how we label them out, and him just talking about tacos and slapping kneecaps.
Oh my god!
But it's nice. It's nice. I'm almost gonna fall asleep. Videos, but I think I'm pretty good for tonight on the set. We've talked for
About an
almost
hour,
an hour and a half.
Hour and 10 minutes.
But
yeah, everybody, thank you for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube or in the live stream on Twitch, I do appreciate you. Saver, Jo, Jack, thank you all for hanging out and chatting with us. If you do enjoy this content, make sure to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube, and follow the podcast if you're listening to this on the podcast, and tell your friends about it. That's the best thing. Tell your friends about it. That's the best way to help grow the podcast. And, if you do enjoy it, the best way to support my content is over on patreon.com/lessalex. Everybody gets free stickers and other behind-the-scenes stuff, and you help support the content that I make, so I appreciate you. But other than that, everybody, thanks for hanging out with us and listening to us talk about some spoilers from the Ikoria set. It's definitely something we've never seen before. But thank you, everyone. Keep on playing some Magic and be kind to one another. Until next time, have a great night.
See you later. Night.